360 to Center is gladly sponsored by A&M Rentals for all your golf cart, scooter, and bicycle rental needs. Hello, and welcome to another episode of 360 to Center, where we talk about everything Conchs baseball. I'm Crush. My co-host, Ralphie Henriquez. Ralphie, how you doing today, buddy?
What's going on, Crush? Down here, it's cold down here.
I was actually just discussing that with the guys a little bit. I'm not even that far up. I'm in between Ocala and Gainesville, and it's already like 48.
You on the first leg of the journey?
Yeah. Heading to Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah. And I think it's 30 there.
Hop and a skim. I was wondering the other day when you're driving in the semi, do you even put a GPS on?
Yeah, I run two different GPS. I run Google Maps for traffic because they have the most up-to-date traffic, and then I run Waze in the background.
Are you trying to are we trying to beat the time?
Yeah, of course. I want a combination of both brains thinking.
That sounds safe in an 80,000-pound rig.
Hey, lots of things happen at 80 mile an hour, 80,000 pounds.
Yes, sir.
I see we have three young guests. I would say young because they're young.
I don't know. I started counting today, Crush. They getting old. I was like 19, 20, 21, 25. I'm like, they've been out of school for 7 years.
Years are catching up.
Yep.
Well, I don't know how they're going to be on their screen, but I'm going to say that the way they are on my screen, we got obviously Antonio Knowles, we got Danny Galvan, and we got, last but not least, I'm hearing the wonderful Will Anderson. How you guys doing? So that is true what I'm saying, that the one and only Will?
Yep.
That's a pretty accurate statement.
No doubt about it.
One of one, Crush.
That is
one
a
one.
living legend.
Right there. In the making.
And you guys are all a part of the 2018 class, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And then and Danny and Antonio, y'all were just saying before the show, y'all played in college, what, the first year together?
So my first year I went to Stetson and Danny went to Florida Southwestern. And then the next year I transferred over to Florida Southwestern from Stetson, and Danny stayed there for his second year. Then we played that year. That would be the COVID year, though, so we didn't really get much playing time, but we were there for that full semester together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Antonio, you already signed, right? When COVID by 2020 or no?
I originally was signed to go to Rutgers, and then I ended up blowing out in fall. I ended up having like a partial tear in my UCL. So I got my scholarship taken away by them and then just went into the next fall basically with no offers. And then I think I ended up committing midway through spring in 21 the next year to Florida.
Okay. So you were one of those guys that gets hurt, gets the surgery done, and you come back throwing harder?
Yeah. I actually didn't. Thankfully, I didn't have to get the surgery. It wasn't a big enough tear. I was able to just rehab it back and kind of see if it healed up on its own, and thankfully it did. But yeah, definitely came back throwing a little harder than what I did before.
Right.
Crush, before you get too far ahead and make it a one-on-one here with Tones, I want to backtrack to these guys. These guys, this group in 2018 was so unique because they kind of grew as kids with 17 and being around them and stuff. I feel like these guys play together their entire life. And
100%.
it's kind of their recipe. They grew up together from every class and every age group. When you look at it, you got two guys are pitching in pro ball right now. Will was a huge impact guy in 2018. I don't know, he's giggling because he ain't a pro ball.
I'm sure he's thinking he's pro into something.
Yeah, like,
I'm sure something's
bro?
going through his mind.
But no, for real though, it's really unique because when my dad was here in that time when he wasn't with the school, he wasn't coaching. And I don't even know how. Maybe Will or Danny can answer how they linked up with him. I wasn't around, but I know they would go out to the field on like Sundays and work out as a team with I think maybe Andrew Karch.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we could get. I remember somewhere because Coach Ralph's actually my my sister's godfather. And so he was, I don't know what he was up to. I think he was in between jobs or something. And my dad.
Didi just got sick. It was like 2010 or so. He just got sick, and she had came back. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I started going out to the field and working out. That was the first guy that he worked out with.
Oh, man.
For some reason.
That's when Willie was a catcher.
I remember I was 10 years old.
Yep.
Really, I've known him my whole life, but I never played baseball with him. And he said, "Give me a hug now because you're not going to want to do it after."
I mean,
it was an all-time great coach. I had such a great time. I played with him for 10 to 18 or 8 years. So great.
That's awesome.
And it sounds like all you guys got that experience.
yeah, no, I remember going out to the pony field with him.
I remember back when we used to go to the hitting cage that Pat Spence built
I remember that too.
over at the boatyard.
Yep.
We were like 12.
Oh, Spencer.
I wanna say we had to be 12 or 13 years old and
Yep.
getting lessons with Coach Ralph over at the batting cage at a boatyard.
Yep.
The kid in the boatyard was legendary.
Yep.
Yeah, bro, because he had like a $5,000 machine that you could turn on from where he was sitting. The guy didn't have to get up. He could sit right there, recline on the thing, turn the machine on. All right, do this, and then you just sit there and just give you all this wisdom that he's had from playing.
Right,
yeah, 100%.
everybody's got those machines now, but nobody had them back then.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And this guy had it at a boatyard.
Remember the red, yellow, green?
Yep.
Yeah,
That all
He
Yep.
still got it.
different pitches coming at you.
coming back to me right now. I haven't thought about this in 8 years.
When I
Wow.
look back, I know for me in 2017 when I was coaching with Atlanta, and I remember coming back here in the fall, I really grew close with you guys. But you guys had this thing about where you just, it didn't matter what it took. You wanted to go out there and win and achieve your personal goals. I remember that year we had the hurricane and it wiped everything up. And we ended up pulling the weight room out of the outfield and putting it in the bathroom. And every day we'd pull shit out. And y'all would just go at it, like deadlifting 500 pounds, doing sleds.
I remember taking
Crazy story that you just said that.
Today. Antonio sent me that shit literally, what was that, Antonio, 6 years ago today?
Yeah, 6 years ago today.
Right now.
Will hit his PR on deadlift.
I have
For
such a
Key Haven.
funny story about that. Ralph comes up to me, just, we were lifting in the parking lot. This is before they had it. These kids got it good.
Yeah.
100%.
In a parking lot with a bunch of weights around the parking lot. And Ralph, we had a practice. It wasn't a game. And Ralph, he tells me, "Hey, Will, like, come on, like, get these guys, like, come on, get them going, like, get them fired up." I'm looking at them.
I mean, I felt like you were the guy that, like, when they all followed you, like you were the leader.
Yeah,
What was a spark plug for sure?
100%.
Like, I'm sitting here, and a few practices before this lifting, my thing was deadlift. I'm a one-peck wonder. I was born with a long story. I have a one-step muscle. Everyone knows I have a condition less than 1%. Bench press,
I haven't heard
cannot
that.
do it. Cannot do it. I cannot bench press to save my life. And so I was always deadlifting. I was doing 405, like pretty easy. So Ralphie told me to get her and fight up. I said, "Well, shit. I don't know, 500 pounds." Going. And so that was just out of nowhere. It wasn't even leg there, nothing. I just did it. Antonio in that video, Antonio was so funny. And I wish we could pull that up. But I mean, that's hilarious.
Crush, I don't know if you know
There's
this.
actually video of this.
Yeah,
there's
no,
video
it
proof.
was this was the first ever post on the Conchs baseball Instagram. 'Cause
Yeah.
Crush, well, I was just about to say, I don't know if you know this, but the original creator of Key West Conch Baseball Instagram, Antonio Knowles.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was all Tony.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually never knew that.
Inside job.
Yep.
Here's the first fun fact of the show that I'm always learning. It's unbelievable. That's pretty cool.
For longer than others, just know that.
And Danny, it sounds like you just learned that, huh?
Yeah, no, the only thing that I remember, like, being
We're
a
still waiting to
secret.
find Danny in the weight room.
Wow.
Him and Pat Spence.
That's crazy. Do not compare me to Pat Spence. That is wild. That's
how about
wild.
Chasing Pat Spencer around the weight room just to get one lift done.
Hey, that boy used to hammer the tricep pull down. Hey, Patrick Spencer. Hey, shout out one of my best friends in the state. That's a hammer tricep pull down.
Does anybody
Yes.
remember the Twitter
Coach,
that
you
we
can tell these boys had a
made
lot
about
of
the
fun.
bird?
What's that?
What?
The Twitter that we made about the bird that used to sit around the
y'all
field.
got crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. What was it?
It was, I think,
Hernando Paez, right?
Something like that.
Our
Yeah.
senior year. Those are
Bro, these boys had a lot of fun in 2018, but they won, so they got away with a lot of shit.
We had like a bird. There was like a bird account. Dude, it was her name. It was so funny. It was dude,
It was a
It was a
mission.
burner account that we tweeted off of, and it was just a bird that landed at Key West High School field. That was the profile picture, the name.
And it was a mission between the team to try to figure out who made the count. And then somebody else made a different bird on a different account, and then they just started going at each other on Twitter.
I don't remember the other bird's name, but there was 2 bird accounts out there.
Yeah.
And am I gathering this right? What it seems, Danny, you weren't a big weight room guy.
No, I was not.
Or
I am now because I kind of have to be if I want to keep doing this. But in high school, I was not in the
Because
slightest.
I kind of have to be.
Yeah.
I like that answer. That's a
They
fair answer.
They used to call him the Cuban Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone said that while we were waiting.
Hey, for real, this guy went CG in Tennessee, I believe, and then the next day was throwing long toss. Like, I mean,
Yeah, his
CG
arm-
was at like 10 o'clock at night. We had a morning game the next day, and your boy's just 300 yards, like, with no biggie. Just I'm killing it.
To do the most shot out stuff ever, but it was awesome.
But it was awesome.
It was.
Ralphie, honestly, these guys sound like they're on this year's team. Like they're still playing together.
Dude,
Literally.
that's what I'm saying. These guys grew up together. They played together. Obviously, they're still friends down here in Key West. And this is kind of what Conchs baseball is. It's like a brotherhood.
You know, I met all my friends. I'm most grateful for Conchs baseball because I met all my friends through baseball. Really, I mean, like we got a group chat to this day. I mean, Antonio Knowles. I met Stephen Wells through baseball, Greg Velez through baseball, Anthony Enriquez, Patrick Spencer, Kyle Arabino, just to name a few. These are guys. I mean, I could go on forever. These are guys that I talk to every day still, like because of this program, and that's why I love it so much.
And well, I know the other two were because I obviously I know Danny's mom. I know the Ancigube family. I went to school with Marcos, your uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I know Antonio's background a little bit, but you're born and raised in Key West?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Key West. My parents weren't though, but
Okay.
all my cousins have state championships except for me. So and my uncle. That was a big driving point for me.
Who's your family that has state?
So my uncle Bill Spotswood has one.
Oh, that's my uncle too,
Yeah.
but not in real life.
Billy Spotswood has 2, I think. I think Billy has 2. I want to say, and then Chaz has 1.
Billy has 2?
I think he has 2.
I think he got 198 for sure. That would have been, yeah. I think Marcus got 1.
Yeah. So yes,
98.
yeah. It was 98. Yeah.
But
There's not many of us that have 2.
yeah, that's how I know. I could be wrong, but I always thought it.
I had to throw that little only because I think I'm the only one. You only had 1, right, Ralphie? 2005.
5, that's it, yeah.
Sorry to hear that. No, I'm just kidding. We know how hard those things are to come by. I mean, Jesus. I hope I'm not raining in on your parade, Ralphie. But you kind of told me an interesting fact since we're a little bit talking about Little League. But did I hear you right that Danny Galvan didn't make one All-Star team as Little League?
Not one.
I always thought it was really intriguing that this guy, it's kind of like that whole cliche thing. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Right.
How this guy never made an all-star, never got picked, never did all this stuff, comes to Key West High School. I mean, he always had a good little arm, but then you find out that this guy can spin a breaking ball, and he throws the weirdest curveball you'll ever see, and he just throws an absolute banger with so much spin. And then next thing you know, only gets a scholarship to go pitch to Broward, and then Broward led to FSW. FSW leads to Danny is now the all-time leader in wins, strikeouts, and innings pitched at Kaiser University. Probably will never be broken again. He's Nolan Ryan of Kaiser. I'm about to start a whole thing. We need to retire Danny Galvan's number.
Oh my! And you know what's crazy? You know what number would be retired at Kaiser if it did?
What's that?
17.
Yeah, 17.
Really?
Oh,
And then like not to sound corny, but like so he accomplished all these things through college and never made an all-star. Like it just goes to show you like that when you're 12, it really doesn't matter.
Right. Right.
It really doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
So
we've talked about it.
obviously,
We've
like,
had it.
yeah.
When I grew up, we had it the opposite way. There was guys that were dropping, I don't know, 8, 10 bombs in middle field all day long and never played a day of high school ball ever.
Yeah, it
there was,
happens.
a few of those. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's
But I mean, to go ahead and like, I don't think Danny ever envisioned he'd be the all-time strikeout leader with wins and innings pitched at a university.
Yeah, in high school when I quote unquote, according to you today, couldn't throw a strike, which is wild. That accusation is crazy.
Yo, can y'all back me up? He was 3-2 every hitter.
3-2, but guess what will come 3-2
he
and get a
relied on
strikeout
a lot of chase.
right here.
I'll just say that. He relied on a lot of chase.
Your boy was 3-2 every time. He would have been 0-2. He would have pitched every damn game.
3-2, but I wouldn't walk him.
Ah.
I know, but you only get 105 pitches to work with here, Papa.
Yeah, see, that's the problem because in college, I was over 100 pitches every game. Every game I was over 100 pitches.
He was Nolan
That's
Ryan. 200
Retired Galvan
pitches,
number.
7 innings, 10 Ks.
And next day, do it again.
I think it's crazy to say that Danny Galvan is the GOAT of Kaiser baseball. I don't think it's crazy to say.
No.
I don't know who else played there, but
How do you not?
I'm strikeout leader, Danny Galvan.
How do you
I
not?
highly doubt
Like,
someone's leading 3 major categories like he is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. GOAT of Kaiser baseball.
I mean, I also played there. I mean, I'm not trying to like discredit what I did because it is that I truly believe that record will never be broken. I mean, I don't think anybody in 4 years is going to get over 300 Ks like I did. But I also did play there for 4 years, and I started for 3 of them.
That's normal, ain't it? 4 years?
That's
Yeah.
what people go
I
to
mean, I played there
college
for 4 years. My freshman year, I got like 30 innings, and then my sophomore year, I started out in the bullpen, and then certain things happened, and then I was able to get a starting role, and then I never lost it for the last couple years I was at Kaiser, and then I was a starter for the rest of it.
That's crazy.
What'd you like better in
Kudos to you,
college,
my friend.
relieving or starting?
It depended on the game. I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, like opening day starting, there's no better feeling. There's no better feeling than going Friday opening day and beating that starter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, coming in a role in the 9th inning in a 1-run game against potentially, like, for example, when we played Southeastern when they were the number 1 team in the country, coming in the 9th inning against those guys, knowing that, like, their 1 through 9 can go yard at any moment if you give them the pitch. And that just gets your adrenaline going even more, knowing, like, all right, let's roll. Like, I'm better than you, and I'm going to go prove it. So,
I like that.
Boy. That's awesome.
I love
Competitor.
that. Danny, that just fired me up.
you want to go? Let's go right now. I'll meet you at the field right now, Will.
Well, like, I want to go throw a bullpen right now.
You want 500 on the rack? You want 500 on the rack, Will?
Pull it up, Will. Throw it up.
I gotta say, dude, I think I just slapped one the other way still. I gotta say.
Oh, speaking of that, you're going to call me a legend, the legend of Key West High School. If you ask any baseball player that played with Will, ask him what a Will Anderson special is, and if they don't know, I'll be surprised.
I bought into Coach Ralph's.
Look, see, you prove my point because Antonio is shaking his head. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Will Anderson did not roll over baseballs. Let's just say that.
Not at all. Antonio, do you remember what they did to me at Southridge, Eddie Doscow?
They shifted Oppo.
And took away 2 hits.
You ever seen somebody shift opposite field
Never.
Not in high school, no.
against a righty?
Righty shifting
They
opposite
had
field
the
is...
second baseman in short right. Will hit both the balls right at him. Kid
No,
didn't move.
dude, I hit the one. They had the outfielder playing the line, and the other one in right center. And the first one, I hit one. I thought I had 2, maybe 3. And the kid right at it.
Maybe 3 what?
The other one down the line.
Maybe 3
That's
what?
a crazy chirp.
Around there a little bit. Maybe not 3.
I don't know if
Will, if
Southwest
you
is
got,
still
if you
set
got
the
a
same.
stand-up double, we were happy for you.
Hey, somebody pull up the stats. I had a few triples. I had a few.
Well, when you hit it down the power alley, that's 410 in right field. I would hope so.
Well, it was Southwest the same as it was when I played there. They didn't have any fence. They probably had a fence when y'all played there.
Southridge.
Oh, South Ridge. I'm sorry. I thought you said Southwest. Okay.
Yeah.
Robbie,
Will,
you don't
when
even know that field, do you?
Yeah, no, I've been there once or
Southwest.
twice. Yeah. Well, when you look back at it, I know, like I said, you could tell just 19 minutes in this podcast, you guys had a lot of fun. when you look back at it, what memory sticks out the most that we could talk about on this show, legally in a family-oriented setting?
Legally.
Legally and family oriented.
What can we talk about? Yeah, when you look back, when you look back at your 4 years of playing, what comes first to mind?
Oh
This guy
god.
laughing by himself. Look at this guy.
He has the plays playing in his mind already.
Yeah, the stories that you want aren't the ones going through.
Bro,
So.
we're a family-driven show.
I got to throw Antonio Knowles under the bus here.
Oh, there's a lot of
One
these.
time we were beating the team back. Like, we were beating them 10-0, 9-0. And there was somebody the year before that did it. It was funny, but somebody called Coach Ralph's name in a funny voice, though. So, do you remember doing that shit?
The Coach Ralph.
We were beating them, and Antonio was, Coach Ralph. And then guys behind him, and he was whipping his head all around. It would go on. We do it. Like, and I was sitting there with my arms over the yellow on the bench, just like trying my hardest to just look at the game. And just, but I mean, that's the only one I could think of, like, on the show. That killed me. That like killed me.
Hey, the other day when Crush was asking me about you guys, and I was trying to go back and find some stuff. And do you remember the white plastic chairs that Valdez brought out there?
Oh my gosh.
If you're talking about when
Crush,
Cashman's
Crush,
broken,
I have that video somewhere on my phone.
I guarantee you I can go on my phone and find that video.
I have it. Crush, and these guys would sit in these plastic chairs, and these crazy assholes would walk up behind the chair with a fungo or a bat and just blast the legs of the chair, and then people would just crumble down to the ground.
I remember Pat Spence did it to Callan. That's the one I remember.
That's the video.
He had a bad tumble.
And Shark in the background of that video made it even better. Because
Shark got shot.
Hey, no, who remembers when one time we were in a bad, like, thunderstorm delay, it was practice or something like that, and Shark's in the dugout, and some lightning bolt hits, and this mother screams and jumps like you would not believe.
Edited himself.
I stopped myself is what happened. I apologize, whatever. But do you guys remember that? When he heard the lightning and jumped, like, bloody murder, screamed bloody murder, like, terrified.
And who was this? You said Shark?
Shark.
Danny
Okay.
Fabio. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One story I definitely remember, I don't know who did it, but I just remember it happening was when somebody got the fire extinguisher to Callan Carn's car.
Oh,
I do not remember
Put his
this.
whole car
Wait,
white.
I
When he had the
remember
red punch
that.
buggy with the window that didn't roll down.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't
A
The
red
remember.
door,
punch
the door
buggy.
didn't open, so you had to come out the window.
No, I don't remember this. When did this happen?
Bro, this
Yeah,
was
they
after
sprayed his whole
practice
car.
one
Out
day.
the window. I remember.
After
Yeah.
practice one day.
They sprayed
Somebody
his
hit his
whole
car
car.
with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, that I don't remember, but that's funny.
God, Rafi, I feel like I was in some kind of like boarding school playing 95, 96 because I think we did some crazy stuff, but not even close. Like,
Dude, these boys had some fun, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, when I came back, I was like, wow, this is a lot different. I'm not in Atlanta no more, and these guys made it fun to go to the yard every day.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made it pretty cool.
We definitely worked our ass off during practice.
Absolutely.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, these guys worked hard, but they made it fun. You wanted to get out of your car, go through them gates, and be there every day. They kind of started the whole trend and then the whole model of kind of, I don't know, these guys really took a lot of pride in trying to bring Conch baseball back and bringing the kids to the yard and having the kids in the stands associate them with their walkout songs. And just playoff time was unbelievable when Antonio pitched his ass off. Will hits that. You hit a double, right? The ground rule double?
Several.
Several.
to right
like-
field.
Yeah,
No,
right
that
center.
was
And
left center. The one that I almost had a walk off.
I mean, like that night, even though we lost, like these kids left their hearts out there. And I feel like even though it sucked that we lost, their goal and what they tried to accomplish and what they did accomplish was bigger than almost a state championship in that moment. And they kind of started this trend of what Conch baseball is and what the brand was, you know?
And Antonio, you were you telling me, Ralphie, one of the stats was the only game that he lost was that game, correct?
Yeah. I think that year he punched out over 100 guys. I think he was 9-1 or 10-1 on the year, and the only game he lost was that last one.
I came in at the end of that game for an out.
And just to make it clear, Antonio, I'm not saying that in any kind of bad way. I'm saying in an impressive way. That's the only game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that game, that was just one of those games, pitcher duel, and ball went one way for them that we just didn't get, and we lose 2-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a ground rule
Twice
double
less
in
than
one
two.
of the innings
Yeah.
that like a runner didn't score on because he got held on third. Just like a couple things just didn't fall our way, and
That guy
happens
that
in
threw
baseball.
against you, Rudy Gomez, he ended up being a high pick, right?
he went. I think he got drafted that year, and he went to some. I can't remember which.
No,
D1.
he ended up going to UCF.
No,
Yeah, he went
Throwing
to
like
a D-
100. Yeah.
He went to a D1 that year, but yeah, that game he was 90, 92 with a slider.
But then he transferred over to UCF. I'm pretty sure.
One of my fraternity brothers played.
He started at St. Leo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, in 2018, because Ralphie, Rebecca's daughter, graduated in 2018 from Merritt Island, and that's the year they had that number one pick,
Mason
the
Denberg.
pitcher.
Mason Denberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
we played
What
them.
night
We
was
beat
that?
them.
She's
We beat them.
she's friends with him. Yeah.
Oh,
They
he
came
went
down
to
and played us.
Washington, right? Nationals, I think, first round.
Yeah, he was like the 22nd or 23rd pick.
He's still
Yeah.
pitching?
I believe so. I know he's been.
He
up and
blew out
down
his
with a
arm in
bunch
like the
of-
first 2 or 3 weeks of getting to camp.
He blew out, and then when he came back, he pitched for like 2 months, and then had like a tricep tear or something. So he's just kind of been injury bugged for the past 3 years, I think 4 years.
And did you guys play Merritt Island yet, or you guys were?
We played
Well,
them
that
That year we
Oh,
played
you
him
did?
twice. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Always
That's when
competitive.
that's when they liked coming down to Key West, or so,
Yeah.
so you say, you know.
That was a
Now,
different
now we
coach
can't get it
back
back.
No,
Right.
We're good.
That's pretty good. Anthony, you obviously you leave.
I'm telling you.
I keep saying Anthony, because I consider your name Antonio. Obviously, that's mine in Spanish as well, and I just think Anthony. So my bad. Antonio, you got drafted what year?
I was drafted first in 2018 out of high school by the Rangers, and
Okay.
then 2021 by the Dodgers.
Okay, so 2021 is when you started your
Professional career, yeah.
okay, and you're currently in Double A. I mean,
Yeah, I finished this past season in Double-A,
yeah.
full year. So hopefully next year starting Triple-A. That's the goal.
Is that your goal? Is that
Yeah.
your hopes?
Yeah.
That's good. So I know I have a friend that played AAA. Oh wait, Ralphie, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
Played with the Dodgers too.
Yes, yeah,
City.
yeah. Imagine this, talking about Dodgers. He sent me some. I don't know if it was spring training. It looked like spring training complex, and a bomb. Imagine that. He sent me a video yesterday of him hitting a bomb.
Lies. Lies.
And Danny, when did you start your professional career?
This last summer. I went right
This last summer was your first.
So-
Okay, that's right.
So I finished my college year, then I went up to the Northwoods because I didn't really have that many like looks. I had like one or two, but there wasn't anything like that I was really, really interested in. And my pitching coach at the time is the head coach for the Wausau Woodchucks.
Okay.
So I went up there to try to get a little bit more exposure. I had one start, and then like 3 or 4 days later, I signed my contract with the Voyagers, and then I went there.
Okay. And this is the year we were just talking about. You played another Key West born guy, J.P. Gates, right?
Yeah.
He was
Played him in
with the
Oakland.
Oakland Ballers. Okay. That was pretty good. Did y'all know y'all were playing each other, or
I heard from a couple people that we were playing each other, but sometimes with how it is out there, the lineup changes a lot. So like I didn't know if he was going to be slated to hit or even like because he pitches too. So
Right.
if he was going to pitch and then he wasn't going to hit, so he ended up hitting in the lineup while I pitched. And I mean, I'm not ashamed to say he got a hit off me, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
hey, that guy was hot that time of year last year, especially.
Yeah.
I mean,
So another thing with that is, and I make excuses, whatever. Going down to playing in Montana and all those things, you're up in high elevation. Then we went down to Oakland, back into lower elevation,
Yep.
and we were just trying what the Pioneer League does. We got bigger baseballs because the Pioneer League is like an experimental league. So if like the MLB wants to try something, they
Right.
try it in those indie ball leagues. So like for example, instead of the pitch clock being 20 seconds, they change it so when there's no runners on base, you have 15 seconds, and then when there's runners on base, they change it to 18 seconds. And so they also tried bigger baseballs, and that was the first week we tried them. And we weren't even supposed to try them, but the ballers ran out of Major League Baseball. So like, oh, we're just going to try the big league ones. I was like, oh, great. Now I have to try a different baseball and lower elevation and all that stuff. A lot of stuff happened, but it is what it is. Baseball, you got to adapt.
That elevation's no joke. I follow a little bit of Trevor Bauer and him playing over in Mexico this past year. They're crazy. I mean, Mexico City's something like 10,000 plus elevation, and there was a lot that I learned about the differences in throwing higher elevation, lower.
I didn't think
it's
there
a
was going
huge
to be that
difference.
much of a difference.
Benefits the hitters a lot.
Oh my god, especially the bigger baseballs. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's Ralphie. Did you ever play in any
Yeah, of course.
high altitude?
The PCL, that whole league, the AAA with the Dodgers. I mean, you go to Colorado Springs, you're going to Salt Lake, you're going to all these places where balls just absolutely fly. Actually, my first AAA homer was in Salt Lake, and I mean, the ball there is just, oh my god, like it never stops.
Yeah.
That's why you got to learn to change ups.
Same way my truck is. Cruise
Sliders
control
don't slide.
77 is a lot easier going through Salt Lake.
Sliders don't slide, Crush. You got to throw the cambio.
Sliders
it
don't
back.
slide.
Yeah, for real.
No, all the
Games
pitchers
in that league, though, are like 17 to 15 because if you're a reliever or you're a starter and you have a 5 ERA, you're doing well.
Yeah, I had a 7.6 ERA when I ended that league, and someone said, "Oh, that's pretty good for someone in this beginning." I was like, "What? That's horrible."
No, they pitching in Colorado.
Yeah, I gave up a homer that was 90 off the bat, and it was 270 feet.
Yeah, that's that elevation homer for sure.
Now, what is Will? Did you go? You didn't go to college, correct? Or play in college, I should say.
I had one offer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ralphie
You turned it down. It wasn't good enough. You turned it down.
I just didn't. I don't know. So Ralphie tells me we're in Shorter University. I think Andrew Rodriguez helped out with that one too.
He was coaching there. I think he may have been like an assistant AD at the time.
Yeah. Something, and I really wanted to go to Gainesville. I love you, and that's where I ended up going. But Ralphie was like, dude, Georgia's right by Florida State. Like, you could go there on the weekends, and then you can go hang out like there and have fun there. We ended up looking it up, and he said worst case is right by University of Georgia. It is 8 hours away from Florida State University. And it was 5 hours away from University of Georgia. It was completely North Georgia. It was in Rome, Georgia, or something.
I know exactly where
Remember,
Rome,
he put
Georgia
the
is.
tweet out, blessed to receive the opportunity in the tweet. You remember that?
Yeah, I was because that's where I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna go. Like,
I'm blessed to announce my first offer.
Antonio was doing it. Antonio had like 40 of them. So
40's crazy. 40's crazy. 40's crazy.
Who else? There's a lot of guys on that team that would do this. For my one. Yeah.
Thrill, I got a question for you. I've been thinking hard about this one. I haven't even told Crush. If you were going to get in the box today and you had to face Danny G, the Cuban Cannon, or Tones, who are you most likely to get a hit off of?
You better not. Don't even.
I want to know what the head nod means first.
I don't know, dude. I gotta say, even Antonio was always good, but
Antonio said he didn't tell you it
before
was
he's as
coming.
good as he is now, he
I
always
got
used to
video
have
proof
my
of me telling Will to pitch and he couldn't hit it.
It was. I remember I had to run like 2.5 miles after that. There's an inter squad video because I was hitting 3 holes. I was a third hole hitter. Antonio was like the best pitcher, and there's a video out there, and it's me, and I already got my at bat, and they brought in Antonio, and like I said, Antonio had my number back in the day. I was like, Coach, come on, like let me get another at bat. Come on, Coach, come on. And then Patrick's like, come on, give him one. And then and then he said, fine, do it. And everybody started screaming. I was in the field playing first base. Let me get in the box. I get in, I run in, everyone's screaming. It was like an arena in there, and you see Antonio threw one high. It was like 93 because Ralph, you had a video of the whole thing right in the video.
Oh, the pocket radar, yeah.
He threw 93 fast. I swung through it, and then I said, "Come on, throw it." I was like, "Throw it again," and he did just like that. Fastball's coming, swung right through it again, high again, and then. And the third one, I said, ain't gonna happen again, man. And then Patrick Spencer's in the back of that last video. Patrick screaming, "Woo!" like that in the back of it. And I swung through it again, and I completely lost in the dugout, leading to having to run 2 miles. But, yeah, that was.
Hey, Will, as you're telling this story, you know what I just thought of? And tell me if I'm wrong. You could fix the story. Do you remember that day we were playing against Doral? Antonio started. He went like 2 or 3 innings, and then Danny came in.
Oh,
so because
God.
Danny came in, he had to hit. And
I was so mad you didn't let me swing the bat, bro. Are you kidding me? The one at bat I'm gonna get the whole season, and you like sit there and don't swing the bat, and the guy was throwing 75 maybe.
75.
Danny, they were like the number 3 team in Florida.
Cause the kid was not throwing up.
95.
And you're like. And I also want to clarify, this guy
think
claims
on
to this
strike three,
day
he
the
took
reason
he
why
took
I
a
gave up those
healthy
2 homers is because I went in the box. To this day, he claims those.
You just snitch on yourself.
I ain't gonna lie, Danny. You gave up
17
one of the
Farthest balls I've
I've
ever seen in my life.
hit.
Okay, let's not talk about it, all right?
No.
No,
Me and Clark-
which one's worse?
that ball.
Which one's
Was
worse?
it a freshman?
Seeing it in the back bounce off the school, or them on the call, and that home run at 501 feet on the fucking live stream.
When they said 501, me and Carter at short and second, we just
Laughing.
put our gloves over our face.
I turned
We
around
were
and started
laughing
laughing
so
too. I mean,
hard.
what can you do?
Crush, for real. 17 told him, you're going to go up there and you're not going to swing. He got to 3-2. I'm pretty sure homeboy swung.
I didn't swing. I know I didn't swing.
He was
doing this
like
one.
hardball.
I was like this, but I didn't swing. You were
What the
coaching
little boy
third.
from- Yeah, I know. But then you were so mad that you struck out. I think you forgot you were even pitching.
Probably.
I mean, that was his one time to shine.
Yeah. And what's even worse is that was the one game where all the scouts were coming to watch me, Antonio, and Conchs, all of them. One game they came to see.
Yeah.
And I gave up 2 bombs.
That boy, but that kid was a freshman, but he was committed to Miami already.
He was.
I think he's there now or just graduated.
They had like a 3rd round pick on that team, Lindsey Delgado, the shortstop.
I struck him out. That's the only reason why. Only thing I remember about that game is that guy was a high prospect. I gave up that bomb, and then I hit that, and that was kind of.
That was awesome.
Danny, what did you throw in your senior year? How hard did you throw?
Oh, I was like maybe 87, 88.
Oh, okay.
You want to tell the boys what you're up to now?
In the beginning of my senior year, I was like 88, 89, and then I got hurt for a little bit, and then it was kind of like 86, 87, getting back up there.
And then what do you throw now?
In my college season, I topped 95.
Okay.
Cuban cannon.
Wow. Okay. So I would guess a long toss right after a CG. I guess that did make sense.
Something has to work there.
True story. The boy never sore. You know, he's one of the only few guys I've ever seen, maybe the only guy that used to stand on top of home plate and throw it in the bleachers at Rex Weech.
Yeah.
Like straight, just.
I tried to.
What's that?
I tried to do it a couple days ago. Ralphie told me to try to do it without telling me they moved the fence back 20 feet.
How deep is it now?
Also, it's 380.
No, I hope it's not because
name.
Yeah, it's a fraud.
Can't be giving false advertisement. 375.
375. No one knows that.
we got 360 plus 15. We got to do something.
Trying to edit that out.
My bad. Gave away the trade secret. My fault.
Yeah, maybe Stephen Wells. I mean, he used to get some serious crazy carry, but he also threw 94, 95 from the outfield, maybe even harder. But
there's
I haven't seen too many people do that.
Zero doubt in my mind that my senior year I could have threw it over center field. Zero doubt. I used to warm up. I used to warm up gate to gate before the game. and that's as far as obviously you could throw, and that's
I think you're confusing how much you
130
used to
yards.
run.
Huh?
Are you talking about how much 17 used to make you run, gate to gate?
Yeah. I used to have to go chase the balls that I was throwing over center, and then do about a mile up and down those things.
Oh my god,
Yeah, that's good stuff. Did you ever even try, Ralphie?
I couldn't do that.
No, really.
I'll
No,
tell you, me and
hell
Patrick
no.
Spencer and Patrick
I think I actually threw a couple over Bobby Lowe's head, like on the steel, and it flew over the gate.
Oh shit.
Little vertical.
Impressive carry.
That's a impressive carry right there. On the line, too.
It must have been that bird y'all were tweeting about that carried the ball out for me or something.
Fernando Paez.
Fernando
Yep.
Paez coming back.
What a guy.
Antonio, so you've been with the Dodgers for 5 years now? 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years. This will be going into my 5th.
When you look back at it, what experiences can you say, damn, like I really remember that, or this is something I'll never forget?
Let me think. I would honestly say my biggest, and it probably happened last year, was just kind of taking in the like ups and downs and not riding the waves so much, I guess. In the sense of like it's a very long season, and like last year I had like a probably 2-month period where I just like wasn't throwing well at all. And I feel like just like in life in general, just like learning that like sometimes things just don't go your way. You just got to keep going day by day and just hoping that like there's a brighter path ahead. So I feel like for me, like that was the biggest thing. Like my first 2 years, I just would ride those lows like really hard, and just like when I was pitching bad, like just let it weigh on me. So I feel like that third year when I got up to AA and kind of like seeing how the older guys went about stuff, just like playing with some guys who had big league time, been around the big leaguers, like just kind of hearing them talk about things. And they're like, bro, if you go out there and blow a game, like who cares? You're going to come to the field tomorrow and there's going to be another game for you to pitch in. Instead of taking it home, letting it sit that night, you come to the field the next day, you already have a bad attitude and you haven't even started your day yet. So I feel like that was kind of my big learning point in pro ball, was just like not riding out the waves as much and just kind of going day by day, taking each to its own.
You got it, Will?
What? Was Will about to say something?
Oh, I was like, nice words, Tone.
And you, did you guys, Ralphie? Did you was the spring training the same place it is where Antonio plays at
St.
now?
Glendale, yeah. I
Yeah.
know. I mean, he could probably. I mean, he's done it for 4 or 5 years. I only had 1 year with him. I always felt like LA Dodgers were always a step ahead of every other team I played with. I mean,
Yeah.
the way they think, the way they function, the people there, the people they attract, the coaches they have, man, it's like it's different. And then if he I mean, are you up for Rule 5 or anything right now?
Yeah, I'll be eligible for Rule 5. This will be my
I mean,
first
it'd
year.
probably be a blessing for you. I mean, if you get Rule 5 and you go somewhere else, there's gonna be times you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I was still wearing blue, like, because it's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot different. And like, they're first class in everything that they did, from nutrition to weight room to their staff to everything. It's just different, man. And I'm sure you've had your moments where you're like, dude, like for me, it was like that's Tommy Lasorda right there. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's LA, it's the Dodgers.
Yeah, my first like star moment was 2022 spring training. I backed up one of the games, and like walking in the locker room, and the first 2 guys to my left are Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. They're just like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Freddie. I'm Mookie. Like, what's your name?" And like in my head, I'm like, obviously, I know who the hell you guys are. Like, you're $300 million people, like Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. Like, but like just like them, just like being open to like all the new guys in the locker room, and like that's another thing that like people don't realize is when you get in there with them, they don't treat you like you're some like other guy. They're acting like you've been part of the team. Like they want you to win with them. They want you to get better with them. So like I feel like, and especially talking to guys from other organizations, that's something the Dodgers just do really well with like how we're kind of like a family with all of our players. I feel like a lot of other orgs, and you could probably back me up on this, it's kind of people are fighting for positions more than they're kind of trying to get relationships with people. And it could kind of feud into baseball a little bit with like being at the field and guys having attitude problems and stuff, not really liking each other. And I just feel like with the Dodgers, it's just like baseball is just so easy because you don't have to worry about all the other things. They just make it that you just show up every day and go about your business.
You worry about nothing.
Yeah.
That's usually a sign of a good organization is when the front office or anybody is kind of trying to get veterans to have the support in the locker room. I think that's one of the biggest things, and it's. I mean, I've seen it a couple different places, but Dodgers have it. Seems like right now. So I mean, was that the same thing you experienced, Ralphie? I mean, were they? Have they always been that way from what you know?
Absolutely. I feel like I said, it's LA. I mean, they attract the big names. They got the big dollar bill and
$700 million contracts. I mean,
deferred 690 of it. But I mean, it's like I said, anything that you think the Dodgers would be, I would try to explain to people. It's that and more. There's always something different when you get to wear that Dodger blue. I mean, like I said, when I got to go, I got there lucky through Major League Spring Training. I had a guy go down. They said, hey, we just had a guy get hurt, didn't pass the physical, whatever. You want to go to big league camp? I'm like, what? So, do I? So then, like I said, I got very lucky that year. I got to play in a lot of them games. I got to experience a lot, be around people that are still playing today. And like I said, of all my memories and all my things, wearing the Dodger blue it hits a little different.
Yeah. Just if you ever get to the show with the Dodgers, I would say get a place out in the valley. Don't get any place. So God, what was it? Puig. There's been a few of them that's had their house hit pretty hard, I guess. Yeah. But just try to get a little spot outside.
That's where the culture coordinator comes in. Yeah. And he takes over. I think I know a culture coordinator.
I got
Damn.
Ralphie, does by any chance does Will Anderson know Matthew Heath?
Andrew Heath too. I know.
Yeah, his older brother. He probably knows him. Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this on the show because that's actually one of our sponsors. So it's actually kind of funny. I think little Heath could be Will's son.
Oh shit. Personality's probably the same.
Oh God, it is.
He's a good kid.
He is. He was our manager last year. He saw 3 different states. He rode every wave.
That's awesome.
He got a pair of custom T-Pain white Oakleys from someone, maybe myself, but he lived it pretty good last year. I had to put that fun fact in there, Ralphie. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, Crush. Well, to wrap things up, what advice would you guys give players to today? I mean, even from a pro standpoint, from college standpoint, even from a non-playing standpoint. Well, what advice would you guys give to guys playing today? Rex Weech.
Danny G, kick it off.
If you have an opportunity, take it. You never if you truly love the game of baseball, because there's some people that go out and play high school because their parents want them to do it, and they want them to be around that environment of you and Coach Ralph. That's fine. But if you truly want to go and play college ball and play pro ball, any opportunity you have, you just got to take it because you never know what could happen. I mean, I didn't want to go to Montana. I'm just going to be honest with you. From Florida, I wanted to stay in Florida if any way possible. But I mean, Montana was one of the few opportunities that showed good baseball, so I had to go take it. And then look what it got. I never thought I'd ever visit the state of Montana, and now I play baseball there. So you just never know what you're going to get. So you always got to try to take every opportunity you can and make the best of it.
Absolutely.
I would just say just be hungry. There's always going to be somebody working to try and take your spot. That's another thing, just like being in pro ball that you kind of see every year. There's 20 guys getting drafted, and all 20 of those guys are coming in not to be your friend, but to try and take your position at the end of the day. So, there's always going to be guys who can come replace you if you stop working. But like Danny said, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of you got to have the love for the game. Just be able to, on the days you don't want to go work out, you don't want to go throw, just find a way to get out there and at least do something, because there is going to be that kid behind you who is going to go work out, is going to throw that day. So feel like just having that thought in the back of your head of like there's always somebody out there who can replace you at any moment can kind of just help you like work through the days and stuff that like you don't really want to get stuff done.
Well said. And Will, your advisor standpoint?
My advice, if anybody probably comes to no surprise, just have fun. I mean, like, really, just have fun. That's what life's all about, is having fun. And also just, like, take it all in and appreciate it because, dude, I wish Antonio and Danny don't have this yet, but I wish I could throw a baseball for a living. Still, I go to work every day, and I love my life and stuff. It's great, but just really appreciate it. It's so much fun just hanging out with the guys, like, and just like hanging out. That's what I miss the most about playing baseball, is because I went from hanging out with you guys every single day, being in school with them every day, and then practicing with them 4 hours a day, joking around and stuff. And that's just take it all in, basically, and just have fun. Really.
And deadlifting.
Yeah, deadlift 500 pounds. Ralphie, has anybody
your deadlifts
deadlift
in.
500 pounds since me?
Not even close.
Not
Bro
even
put
close.
a dent
All right,
in
so
the
look.
parking lot. Does anyone remember
All right,
that?
so let me just do a formal call out to any young guys out there. If they want to deadlift 500 pounds, this isn't a do it now. Old Will's not getting in there now.
No, season starts in a month.
This is
got my
comparing
video
stats.
But if anybody wants to do it, be my guest. I think it'll be awesome. But yeah.
Brush, I never mentioned this, but from time to time, I'll hear Big Thrill's voice from A right field out there, and Boog Powell court during the game.
Tell you what.
He definitely still brings the noise.
I do anything I can to make
Conchs Spirit Award winner.
Big.
Oh my God, we won't even
Hey,
get.
remember that picture?
Yep, Conchs Spirit Award winner, baby. Will Anderson.
Long story, my senior superlative was school spirit because Antonio Knowles made it happen.
Because the school voted. The people voted for who they wanted.
No,
Hey, remember the picture?
around.
Thumbs up. You know what I'm talking about.
You can't teach that heart. You
Dude,
can't.
Antonio Knowles made that happen because he was scared I was going to win his. That's what happened.
So you are a Conchs People's Champ. I mean, the people voted, Antonio said.
Oh, yeah. I was spirit was Antonio Knowles. So thanks, Antonio, for that campaign.
Will used to be the mascot for the basketball
Don't think
games.
that is such a lie. Don't stop it. Look, he doesn't stop, dude. No, it's such a lie. I didn't know who it was. It was Neil Kennedy. Neil Kennedy.
They don't wear that. They don't wear that conch head, do they?
They did.
Oh, they did.
Hey, he
did.
was conky and like, wasn't Bino the shark from Sugarloaf or something?
Kyle was.
Both of them, yeah. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Was not.
Willie's conky.
I was not. Okay, can we do this? Remember, that was not me. For everybody watching this, it was not me.
It was not me.
Only 10,000 viewers out there. I was never the school
You know what? I have a
mascot.
picture with the mascot, I think. So that's me. All right, that's
Will's gonna leak it.
We'll ask somebody to put it on for him so he
My
can have that
cheeks hurt
proof.
right now.
I knew that was coming.
That's awesome.
Antonio, as far as I know. I've never seen Antonio and Conky in the same room at the same time.
Because you were conky.
Hey, bro, this is like Ace Ventura. Einhorn is Finkel, Finkel is Einhorn.
Oh,
Will
wow.
is Conky the conch. We figured it out. The 20-year legend is.
All right, whatever. Dude, it's not a bad thing if I was.
He's
but I
defending it so much, you know it's true.
It's not a bad thing if I was.
Get him, Danny G.
Get him, Danny G.
All right, I'm gonna make a little challenge for you, Will. If we get to the final round, the playoffs right before state, right before we're going to state,
Yes.
you got to throw on Conky.
100%. I will be here for that. I'll fly down for that.
Will.
We got it.
Got
I mean,
to.
come on. This is a big one. I
For
mean,
the boys.
Coach Ralph is
the
limited
fellas.
in years. I mean, it's got to be a special one. I mean, if we're going to state, that's the one you want to. That's the one you want to come all out.
Bring Conky back.
How long would I have to wear it for?
The game? Until they win?
You'll have to do.
They gotta
like,
win!
You'll have to do like Frankie Malsgrad and run the bleachers with the flag.
Yes.
least
Get
in your first
the crowd going. Boing.
If he wants to make the Final Four,
Yes.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Dude,
Cut the
I don't
check.
know if I can lock this in because we got a good team.
Hey, and the best part, the Final Four is at the State Stadium, so he's going to be doing it on the road.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I don't know. I actually don't know if I really want to.
Bring it. You got to commit. Listen,
He has to be committed.
Antonio,
He's locked in.
right now.
What if can Antonio have a challenge as well? Can we
He's
come
going to
up?
be in the big leagues.
I didn't win.
He's going to be
School
busy.
Spirit.
it will have to be through FaceTime.
Dude,
I'll give a hell of a pregame speech, Will.
if the Conchs make the Final Four, I'll put the freaking uniform on.
Yes.
There you have it.
We have it.
I'm not running up and down the thing, but I'll put it on.
You never know what you might feel. You might get. It might come back
I
to
might
you.
get riled up. I don't know.
Yeah. It might come back to you.
Oh my God.
That's good stuff. We got a
He's up
yes.
the crowd
This
energy.
is
That's why
I
he's
hate
like that right
Antonio
now.
Knowles. I want to let you know that Antonio Knowles has caused so many situations like this exact one in my life over our 18 years of friendship.
It's a family show.
That is good stuff. Well, Ralphie, I think unless you got anything more, it's crazy. I say it all the time. I mean, coming up on an hour, and it seems like we've just been laughing for about 15 or 20 minutes. Unless you got anything else, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this deal making show up.
Definitely. I know, like I said, anybody watching can see that the same energy you got here tonight is what these guys brought every day in 2018, 2017. I know Antonio and Danny are still coming out to the field and playing catch and helping our guys and trying to help them get to where they're at. Like I said, it's a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. Our culture coordinator here, he didn't even know he was that guy back then that he still is today. And it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Thank y'all for coming on.
I want to challenge any of the young guys that are watching the show. I want to challenge you guys to take note of these three guys and the camaraderie they have and the fun and intensity they bring. I challenge you guys to take a look at these guys and bring that same level of camaraderie through current team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting the challenge out there, Ralphie.
Yeah, I like it. Like I said, they made it easy to go to Rex Reach every day, whether it was 5 a.m. or we were playing against the
5 a.m. lifts.
We used to go lift at 5:30, not because I told them to, but because they wanted to go do it on their own. That's how hungry they were. True story.
That's before the sun comes up. You guys had to wake up that bird and everything, huh?
Yep.
Bro, we used to squat. Orlando
We
Pirates.
had to move.
We used to squat in the
5.
rain, bro. In the rain, we were doing squats. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, these boys started a whole
They had
mold of this
they had
place.
to re-asphalt that parking lot after we were all done with it. Will dented the parking lot with his 500-pound deadlift.
Yeah.
I did dent that parking lot. I'm not kidding. There was a nice crater in there.
So you created the speed bump in the parking lot.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just saying that it was
You might have had something to do with it. Well, that's awesome, guys. Antonio and Danny, I want to wish you guys the best of luck this coming year. Hopefully lots of good things happen. I'll be following as much as I can. Definitely. Will, I'm going to be following you too. I want to see you going up through the ranks of the next kind of coordinator, whatever that's going to be. I like it. I like it.
I want to see Will get into politics.
Yeah.
I know the man
Politics.
right now.
City Mayor, 2028. Will
and she
Anderson.
and I've heard this personally. She likes people that dress up as Conchs. So if you're trying to get into politics,
Mayor 2030.
That costume probably smells so bad.
But it's for the people, Will.
it's for
It's
the
for the
people.
culture.
I'll be playing. I would do it, but I'd be playing.
Same.
Put it on now before you leave, and then if we go to stage, then we're supposed to leave.
I wish I could do it, Will. But I would do it, but I'll be playing. You got to pick me up. That's why you hit 4 hole.
Stressed.
That's why you hit 4 hole, Will, for when I messed up. You cleaned it up.
Will hit 2-hole.
I had 3.
Nah, Will didn't hit 2 hole.
We looked it up. You
Oh
hit
my
2-hole.
god. This is awesome. We need it. We need this every week. We might have to have you guys come back on a couple times during the year. Maybe you guys need that during your season. Just something different, something to kind of bring you out of your focus that you're stressing or you're pumped up. Maybe that would just get a little will in you, and I think it'll be a good thing.
If I had a Will Anderson speech before every one of my starts.
It's a great idea. I know my softball season gets a little stressed sometimes. So softball
season.
I would softball that when the playoffs come in, it's hard. So I'd love to get on it.
You guys got that artificial turf over there now. It's a whole different game. I get it.
Well, they got you at short or third?
Second. Off hitter too.
Damn. Okay.
Still getting those hits over the second baseman?
Yep, 100%. I'm the only guy that hits oppo and slow pitch.
He's a back
Will's going opposite field and men's slow pitch.
Will sits back. He makes sure he sits on that ball.
Sit back, bro.
Well, guys, I want to thank all you guys. Really appreciate you guys coming on. I know we had some scheduling fun. That's always a good time. But I really appreciate you guys making it happen. And it was actually even better than I thought, or what I was expecting. Because Ralphie was warning me, but I didn't even think it was going to be this good. And you guys brought it, so I really appreciate it. Ralphie, I appreciate you getting these guys to come on and do this show. That's what it was, a show. So
Definitely.
I thank you guys personally. Yes.
Thanks for having us.
You got it. Thank you very much.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It won't be the last one. I'm
we gotta get back.
letting you know that now.
We're back.
So I appreciate it. Ralphie, thank you.
You got it.
And everybody who's continuing to watch and send the messages, I greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate it. It's a fun thing. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and say 360 is out. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.
Peace.